I'm being joined by Manish Barriar right now, who's a political analyst, Imran Ahmad Ali, who's a lawyer and political analyst, as well as B.S. Arun, who's a senior journalist. Thank you very much, all three of you, for joining me. Manish Barriar, what's the problem, Manish Barriar? The opposition, yet again, on yet another issue, saying a very simple thing. Why are they not being allowed to speak?
Good evening, Sneha, and to my co-panelists and your viewers. The prerogative is with the speaker. And obviously, these days, everybody has the freedom to speak the way they wish to and what they wish to do it. I think the bigger issue is that what Rahul Gandhi ji said, he said कि उन्होंने श्रद्धांजलि नहीं दी. But we all know that when that unfortunate incident happened, Prime Minister actually on X, he sent his condolences, and most importantly, it is not a symbolic gesture only. He did that, right? But most importantly, the action that was taken by the government, corrective action to ensure that that congregation remains, incident-free after that. I think that is more important. Having said that, one more thing I would like to say: there have been several instances when the leader of opposition, Mr. Rahul Gandhi himself, has not given any condolences. I was looking at Bangalore, there was violence. In fact, in Kashmir, so much of atrocities have happened, but he has never come out and given any condolences, any Shraddhanjali, ever. So I find it's a double speak. Having said that, I felt that, it would have been better if Prime Minister had spoken two words on that. Although, again, that was not the moment. The subject matter that was being discussed was about Kumbh overall, but it's okay. I think the country has looked at it. Was what Prime Minister has done to ensure that the greatest congregation on earth, in fact, went on pretty peacefully and in a well-structured manner.
Manish Barriar, nobody takes away from Mahakumbh for what it is, and there has been praise flowing in from all quarters for people who have gone there, who have spoken about how well organized Mahakumbh has been, about how people have been safe in those places, so on and so forth. So that is something nobody can take away from. But there's another aspect of this, and that is there are people who lost their lives. The counts varied depending upon where they were coming in from. It changed day in and day out. That's another part of it. But as the Prime Minister speaks, was that Shraddhanjali on X sufficient for a Prime Minister who was speaking in the Parliament?
See, as I said earlier, actions speak louder than words, right? You must look at how the government has responded to that crisis, isn't it? So I think the Chief Minister it's a state subject, but most importantly, Prime Minister has been on the forefront in terms of congratulating as well as putting his condolences on any issues. In fact, I would say it was in very bad taste when Mr. Rahul Gandhi really raised this up, because he himself is guilty and opposition is guilty of very selective condolences on issues. I don't want to really take this further, but I will go to the extent that whenever, one community, some unfortunate incident happens, then he's always in the fun front. But when it comes to Hindus, he's never there. And I've checked a lot of records. So, if he opens this up, it's a Pandora's box.
Okay.
And it's going to hit him very badly.
Right. Imran Ahmad Ali, here's the question. What Manish Barriar is saying. Manish Barriar is saying a very simple thing. And that is, actions speak louder. The government ensured what it had to after the stampede. How do you respond to what Manish Barriar is claiming? Are you okay with what happened subsequently? Is that enough?
Is this a question directed to me?
Yes, Mr. Imran Ali, go ahead.
So I think where I agree with Mr. Manish is that I agree with certain parts in what he said. However, we need to understand the fact that when we celebrate success, we also need to understand that we have to acknowledge failures or things that we can do better. Now, my question in the whole thing would be not whether the condolences were given. For a matter of fact, condolences were given. However, when we were giving a general account, probably a condolence for those families who have lost, and most would argue that in a congregation of 500 to 600 million people who've congregated, a death of 30 to 39 would not be much. However, for those who've actually lost those people from their families, even one death is a death too many. what we really need to understand and we need to come back to in a matter of fact is that whether the government is taking a review in order to prevent future, these mistakes coming up in these congregations. And I absolutely agree with Manish that sometimes, you have to see the bigger picture. Manish did say, give a lot of interesting points, but where I really disagree with him is again dividing this on communities, again dividing this on religion. Let's step out. Those 39 people who lost their lives, we cannot confuse issues in saying that, oh, X leader only supports one kind of community. I'm sorry, that's not the topic that's up for discussion today. Today, we're saying that whether the government should have acknowledged, the Prime Minister for a fact did acknowledge it. However, what review has been taken, how these mistakes will not happen in the future, is something that the government should also speak about in the future. Now, the main germination of this particular issue, I feel, is the leader of parliament did not get an occasion to speak, whether be it for a minute or 2 minutes. That I feel in a democratic setup has to be awarded.
Okay.
You have to hear criticism for a government to do well.